Good evening, all. Today we are actually hosting a session specially for students who have qualified the
Good evening,
prelims.
all.
Today we are actually hosting a session specially for students who have qualified the prelims and are about to write the mains from January. Now, what happens during this time that when you have only 1 month's time remaining and you have lot many things to do, recently UPSC also released the DAF form details to be filled for the detailed application form for the interview. So what happens, your focus keeps on changing to which subject to focus on. And many times we keep on, when we fill the DAF, the dream is always there, and the dream itself becomes an hindrance that which service should I take, which state cadre should I take, what should I fill in my hobbies. See, one part of your should focus on exactly what exactly your DAF should explain you. We are not talking about a DAF session today. Today, the most critical part of a UPSC exam is the session called, is the exam called essay, the general studies essay. Now, what happens? Oh, I must tell you this, that you must have seen or learned from various resources or sources, and even previous toppers, that they do claim that essay was the reason why their ranking goes up and down, or the cadre they choose, or what difference happens in every second or third attempt, where the improvement of score happens is most in the essay. I'll tell you why. The reason is, essay is the only paper where you are able to prove the point why you need to be in the services. From the choice of the topic, from what you write, your own open mind actually comes in format of a letter or a essay, maybe a written format, that somebody is able to evaluate your fitment to the service. Whereas the other exams, that is the mains exam, GS, your optionals, what happens is, you have a question, you have an answer, you have a fixed time, and every one of us is who is appearing for the exam in whatever medium is writing answer question, answer question, answer question. It depends upon your knowledge, your way of writing, your focusing on time, and what kind of paper you fill in, what kind of content you fill in. So finally, what happens is, many times a student or an aspirant comes out with the feeling that I've written well in the paper, but the score are not similar to what they have written. So today, the session is more towards the revision of how we are going to write UPSC essay, and especially this session or revise for IAS is more for the students who have appeared mains or have been a part of civil services, but want to improve their score, to improve their rank, and they are once gone through exam, they have evaluated their steps of failure and now they want to correct. So this itself is a different approach to the paper. How your each attempt is going to be different and better is what this revise for IS, the exam or the portal stands for. It's for revision. It's not about telling you or teaching you the ABCD of the preparation, but it is about making sentences having a deep meaning and impact through them. So, what we'll do is, we have 3 4 days of session which will keep on coming live. So, this is the open session about essay and how relevant can we make our essay preparation for the exam. What happens is, people who are interested, students who are interested, or candidates, especially who are writing mains, are who are right now confused and unable to know what to do, how to do about essay. uh, this basically is a session that we start with a session of workshop oriented essay program, and this is an open session, so you can choose to click the form below. And my sincere request is, this is strictly for English medium students, and it also is for students who are writing the mains, because we have a very limited time with us, and only focused preparation can help us sail through this tough time. So you can just fill in the Google form, And I must say this right now, the session is live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. You can come into the Revise for IS channel in uh, Facebook or in Twitter. Put in your comments. We can interact here uh, through your comments, and I shall be highlighting the comments. Whoever has any questions in this open session. Apart from that, the classroom session is will happen in the Google Meet, and it'll have a mostly Sundays to Sunday, and the it's an online or virtual medium of doing it. So in that, we will be going through 5 sessions, improve your score sessions, and we will be also evaluating, giving one-to-one counseling or one-to-one session with each of the students who submit their essays and get it evaluated. So this program will start from this Sunday, that is 28th of November, and will end by the fifth Sunday, which is uh, around 26th of December. And in between, yes, the one-to-one session will happen on weekdays as per the scheduling given to the candidates. And the course fees is 3,000 rupees, and that will be you have to pay the session or pay the fees only after the 3 sessions of improvement sessions are over. So the concern more is towards how do we manage time and how do we get the best out of it in this time. Apart from that, because we are going to write uh, and practice, so the sessions and there will be one special session where I shall be writing the or giving you time to time each minute's description of what you have to do and how you have to do, manage the time. That kind of a different kind of workshop, hands-on workshop, that will happen, and we will then come back on that. On today's session, we will just have a look at what do we cover. As I mentioned that it's an open session for English medium students, and the live chat function is there in YouTube live, in Facebook live, and even in Twitter live. The session which is for the essay program will happen in the Google Meet. You can just join or fill in the form, and you shall be getting the information accordingly. So these are all open session. You may choose to put your doubt in the comment section, and we'll come back on it. Even if not live, you're watching it later, it's no worries. Or you can just subscribe us in all these channels so that you get notified when is the next session. So what is the session plan in this open session? As I mentioned, we'll talk a little bit about reviseforis.com, about the UPSC essay paper, about what this session and how we are going to conduct this essay program. This basically is for whom and why to join this. A little bit about course fees and the participation process, the operational details. And then we have a short activity. Apart from that, today's session will also decode one of the topics in the last year essay. What I first would request you is if any of you, your first essay, you can choose any of the topics either in the screen you have, or you can just choose to write any of the essay topic from the UPSC and send us for free evaluation for your first essay. And once you evaluate, I will start with your level of what starting level, and will immediately work towards improving your scores or your ability. So when we talk of essay sections and the broad area, uh, I'm sure most of you would have evaluated that reviewing the last year's paper in the last 15-20 years, the essay topics generally cover literature and culture section, a social sphere where education, women, health, sanitation, poverty, employment, these aspects are given. A political sphere, something which is very relevant topic, science and environment and technology. a straightforward topic on the economic sphere and agriculture, something on industry and trade, some very important relevant happenings in national and international events, many a times natural calamities, landslides, earthquake, drought, etc., or some national development programs and projects. So reviseforeice.com is basically for revision towards the exam and in the last minute help. We are here trying to provide that last minute push so that you stay focused towards the exam, towards the objective, and in the shortest of the time, bring out your best abilities. And from your own mistakes, you are able to overcome them in this attempt. About UPSC paper, I mentioned the various kind of topics which come, kind of sphere it comes, and you can put it in the buckets accordingly. This test program basically will be we will be giving you session through question papers through PDF, and you have to write it in the UPSC papers or and send it to us. We will evaluate, scan it back to you, and schedule your session. So you need a scanner in the whole process. And I think that's the only best way in current pandemic to work together. So if you have any challenge over there, you can use the photograph of your camera phone. And we are also, I mean, I'm available in WhatsApp as well. You can send your papers in WhatsApp. For whom and why to join? This is absolutely only for people or aspirants who are giving the paper this year, mains 2021, and in English medium. And course fees I mentioned is 3,000 rupees, and you have to pay it only after the third session is over. Uh, the consideration is towards the exam and the paper, and just you stay serious, hence the fees. So I'm sure you would have learned through various sessions, portals which are available, and there's a lot of knowledge. What happens is there are knowledge, there is availability of everything around, but what is relevant to you and your own ability is what makes the difference in the final exam. So just having the knowledge and awareness through a portal, reading toppers, motivational items, definitely peps you. But how do we incorporate it to excel is where the skill lies. And this can be quoted in Abraham Lincoln's quote that give me 6 hours to chop down a tree, and I'll spend the first four sharpening the axe. So here, an essay itself, you will enjoy the process of writing the essay if you actually identify or choose the topic which is very close to you and your own thoughts. And what happens is this essay actually is a reflection of your own thinking process. That's how one gets evaluated whether he's fit for civil services or not for this exam. Because let us focus and let us be very clear that this examination is not an academic examination. It is here the exam just to enter into civil services of India. So they are looking for a particular breed of people or mindset of people who can do well, and this is a very well established process. And challenging them right now or being very revolutionary about it will not help us either, as you would have learned that there is a set process of entering into defense forces of India. Similarly, there is a set process established during British time to enter into civil services of India. So here the essay gives an opportunity to reflect the understanding of the writer, the thoroughness of the writer, the analytical capacity of the writer, the research and analytical capability of the writer. Whatever you read, however you portray it, and also There are people with good articulation skills, good effective expressions. They use a good logic, flow, and rhythm, and basically they're good at grammar and way of writing. So I'm sure many of you would have read few books, not the NCRT ones, but the uh, good novelist or good writer's book, where after reading through the first page, you never realize that you've already tried to, you keep on reading it until unless it is completed. So those are the way of writing which actually allows the reader to get immersive experience of reading the story or the book and stay curious till the end of the book. So that's what a good book or a good essay has to be. It should generate the interest from the reader to read it throughout and stay impressed. And then let me tell you this: the essay also is a paper where the invigilator also learns a lot, because many of the aspirants have various perspective, and they bring in different kind of information from local to from regional to from national to international. So that kind of objective is what makes UPSC essay very different from an essay which we learned in school times. So there are few basic way of looking at UPSC paper. Is basically, once deciding the topic which you like, one needs to start brainstorming, write down all the ideas that comes in the brain from the topic. At this point, no need to systemize or you know focus it in a flow. Just keep on pouring an idea, because the brain works on randomly, and keep on writing on the paper. Once you have all the ideas written in the first 10-15 minutes, it's time to arrange these ideas in a logical and a sequential manner. Once you decide, okay, my story is going to have this kind of a flow, then you have to think, how do I start up the story? How do I bring in an introduction to the story? And what will be the more crux of the story or the body of the story? And then how should I end it or conclude my expression of writing essay? Once it is done, you have to also give time rereading it if you have missed out any flow, anywhere, or we call it as a revision. It's a general studies essay paper. It is not about a very technical paper, and it should generate interest from for a reader of any background to read through it and get a good grasp of your personality and the topic chosen. Some of the best way to develop an idea when you choose a topic is 5WH analysis. For example, what is 5W? What? What will be done? Action, steps, descriptions. Why? Why will it be done? Justification, reasons. Where? Where will it be done? Location, area. When? When it will be done? Time, date, deadlines. Who? Who will do it? Who's responsible for it? Accountable for it? And how will it be done, method and process. So this is a core way to initiate your brain to start brainstorming on these lines, and then your brain will start thinking, because you have been learning about so many things in this UPSC curriculum, that all these questions will raise in on bring in thoughts which you have to keep on writing on the paper. With this, now in today's session I go to uh, last year's paper, so that you're able to we are able to discuss on the current paper. So we have the last year paper, and I'll just go through only one topic. So we know that civil services means exam, it has 250 marks, and mostly it has been always two sections of essay, section 1 and section B. It's a QCA is given, question come answer. There's a 15 page given, and you have to write in the medium given to you. We've been given 3 hours and 250, that is 125 uh, per topic, section A and section B. And generally they say to write around 1,000 to 1,200 words. So nobody counts it, but yes, with the kind of time limit, you are able to write around a good essay in 800 to 1,000, around that. Generally, if you are a good habitual writer. And with UPSC, what happens is one keeps on writing and they do become a good writer. Now, let's look at the topic which was given in the last year's paper. The question first topic is life is long journey between human being and being human. Another topic in section A, mindful manifesto is the catalyst to a tranquil self. Another topic, ships do not sink because of water around them. Ships sink because of water that gets into them. Another topic, simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. Now, all of the topic looks some quotes, it looks like anecdotes, and none of them are straight. So, while many of this topic looks more towards ethics, moral, but let me be very, very clear that this exam is about civil services. So, they have given given you an open-ended question, and the only question they're asking you, okay, this is the topic. Tell me how will you prove the point that you are fit for this job. So your thinking process, your perspective brought in over here will define your way of looking at or approach of looking at various topics and linking them together. So there is no straightforward handling. Now it is your own story. For example, if you have to make a movie Hum Aapke Hai Kaun, so maybe you have a different story altogether, but the same title, Hum Aapke Hai Kaun. Not necessarily the hit one. You will have another story which might be more super hit. So the title remains the same, but the stories can change. That kind of logic, that how is your story relevant to the topic, or how you bring in your story or your perspective of thoughts, matching or kind of defining what this topic is trying to tell. So we have to decode it. And in the sessions that we will have in Improve Your Session, we will learn the process of decoding topic, and the most critical part, how to decide which topic to write. Let me tell you, all the topics are good. All the topics will fetch you the same, this thing. It's on your ability to write the question, write the answer, which will fetch you mark. There's no one single topic which will fetch more marks than any other topic. So being that said, and that today's one learning which all of us have to take back, or while we do this entire workshop, the only focus here is how to prove that I am fit for this examination and my essay reflects my mindset. Is the only motto through which we will do this session. So with this, we end our session today. The description of joining the classroom is below, and you can fill in the form uh, in the video below. For the YouTuber viewers, you can watch here. Do subscribe to the channel. For Facebook, you can check in over here. As mentioned, this is more towards students or aspirants who are giving this exam this year, and we have a very short time. We have only 6 weeks towards roughly 6 weeks to the exam, and let's together work the way out so that we have our names in the list of the interview. and in the final selection list. Thank you.